Hello, good afternoon. You need to keep your cameras on. Keep your cameras on. Vaibhav Sagar, even your camera is not on. Hello. Yes, Vaibhav. Today you are
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
give us your. First thing I would like to tell you, Vaibhav, you are being recorded, and every
Yes,
class
ma'am.
is, as you know, that every class is recorded. So today I'm going to ask you some, or rather, I would, I would want you to give your experience. Like you already have been selected in Wipro, isn't it?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
Oh, so you were not selected.
Yes, ma'am. Pankil and Vikas and other guys have.
Okay. Did you give the written test?
Unfortunately, no, ma'am. I wasn't even selected to give the test. They rejected my application.
Now, on what grounds were you rejected?
They didn't tell us, ma'am. Approximately half of the class was selected to give the test, and the rest half of us were just disqualified. We didn't get to know on what basis we were rejected. We even tried to communicate with the HR manager, but no response was there from their side.
Yeah, these are some technical problems which have cropped up because of the COVID-19 lockdown. So it's not that you are rejected or disqualified. Maybe they'll get back to us, and then they keep on recruiting.
Pardon, ma'am?
They keep on recruiting people. The first round and the second round and the third round. It's not that you are disqualified, right? You need.
Yeah. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
sir.
They disqualified our form first time, and second time we have applied,
Okay.
and our exam is to be scheduled.
All right, but don't lose hope for anything. It is going. They are going to come back. They are going to come around. So let me ask you one question, Vaibhav. How
Ma'am.
are you prepared for this kind of technical round of questions or the online test? Can you give us in detail, like
Yes, ma'am.
what has been your learning objective at Simage? Like you've been here, you're the finalist student of BCA. Like, what is your takeaway? What have you learned?
Ma'am, my takeaway from the 3 years that I have been studying at CMH College is that I have to be persistent and I have to keep my hard work on the mark so that I don't
No, but
lag
what you have,
behind.
what what did you learn? What was the learning outcome?
Nothing.
The learning outcome which I gained in these past 3 years was that apart from the technical and mm, skills that we got, we also learn about teamwork. That when any kind of cultural event was being held, the students the students were instructed to form teams so that we can work in team and cooperate amongst ourselves so that we can learn from those kind of experiences.
All right, Vaibhav, what is your area of expertise? Like, for example, you're facing an interview. What is one thing which you would like to highlight? What is your area of expertise?
My area of expertise is that I perform better when I'm off alone than in a team because
No, I'm not
uh,
talking about you can perform better. What is one solid point about you? What is your strength? Like, what are you good at?
ma'am, I'm really good at communicating my point of view and My learning
You
attitude
move, you're a
that if
student of BCA, right? A BCA student should know what is the area of expertise. What is a subject which you can bank on, that this is one skill which can carry me ahead. Communication skills, fine. You can get your facts right. You can speak English. You are fluent. But as a student, technically speaking, what is the best subject you can count on, and what subject which you feel needs some extra time, investing time. So, which subject do you think this is my area, this is my forte. I am good at programming or whatever.
yes, ma'am, then I will say that I am good at Java programming rather than any other languages.
So, this is your area of expertise.
Expertise,
What
yes,
skills
ma'am.
you need? What skills? What subjects? Which area? Which is the gray matter in your about you? Like, what is the gray matter, and which subject needs a little improvement, a little investing of more time?
Ma'am, my mathematics is little weak because I tend to take more time to solve any kind of questions to
Okay,
get to the answers.
all right.
I take
Uh,
more time than usual people.
so, mathematics is your gray matter, or your this is your drawback. Now, the next question
Yes,
will
ma'am.
come is, what are you doing? How are you working on this drawback?
On my mathematical skills. Yes, ma'am. I have been practicing my maths from various books and trying to come up with tips and tricks so that I can solve complex mathematics in a fraction of time, so that the lengthy uh, calculations I could be able to do in less time.
So, what is your dream job and why? Or I should ask you, what is your long-term program?
Ma'am, my long-term program is to work in an IT field so that I can do some work in a technological area which would impact the society.
What is the future of information technology? How do you see it?
The future seems very promising for IT field because nowadays everything is going technical and going technological. Everything around us is uh, influenced by any kind of technical approach. Even the banking sector or home deliveries or even medicines and transport even. Everything has some kind of influence of technology.
Only
So, what kind of
So,
yeah,
ma'am,
what do you how can you react about meeting deadlines and working under pressure?
ma'am, when we are supposed to work under a deadline or we are given a time frame that under this circumstance and this period of time we have to finish some kind of job. It we have to mentally prepare ourselves so that we don't get distracted while we work and we come up with great ideas and good motivation so that within the time frame we are able to finish the task.
What does success mean to you? What is
And success for me means uh, respect in the eyes of people who know me and जाओ ले लो, go and जाओ नीचे. The success for me will mean that I gain respect in the eyes of people who talk to me and who interact with me, and uh, uh, even if I desire to get some kind of facility or some kind of services, I don't even have to hesitate a bit. That will mean success for me.
And how do you see failure? Is there anything positive about failure? If it is, if yes, what is it?
As like success, failure is also a part of life. uh, Everyone once or a while fails in their life in doing some kind of activity. Failure is inevitable, but we have to keep ourselves motivated and keep our head high so that we face our fears and failures and learn from them, so that when the next time we approach the same kind of situation, we don't lag behind or hold ourselves back. So failure is like a mirror to us, which shows us our flaws and reveals our true selves. That we are lacking behind in some kind of areas of expertise or some kind of experiences, and failure gives those experiences and those fields which will uh, which will help in character development of ourselves.
Exactly. So they say the is history makes you wise. So we learn from our mistakes. If I
Yes, ma'am.
remember in your when you were in the first semester, or the maybe
Ma'am.
the first semester, I gave you an essay competition, which the with the topic like success makes me happy, and failures teach me. You learn from your failures, and failures can motivate you. Success can give you a feeling of elation. You feel good. So life is all about success and failure. I guess you got the third prize in it, right? In your class, you were selected.
Yes, ma'am. I did get a prize when I stood up and speak. Yes, ma'am.
So one thing, which the next question will open doors for you. Like, how do your friends see you? How do your friends describe you? You are in a group of 60 students in your group. How do your uh,
Ma'am, this is
hello? Don't get you.
Shivam Kumar's mic is on. Also,
Nothing.
and also Akash Verma.
So yeah,
Sorry.
what is how do
Sorry, Saga, for disturbing.
how do people see you? How do your
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
first question? How do your friends describe you?
Mhm. Ma'am, in the class of 60 students, I have a very small group of friends.
Okay.
And
How
in that small group
you
of
are talking to
friends,
your friends about you? Okay, tell me something about Webber. What will they
yes,
say?
ma'am. What will they say about me? Uh, they will describe me as an introvert who tries to speak up whenever something right is happening. I don't believe in small talks or talking behind the back or
No, I'm
defaming
asking
anyone.
Webber. How will your friends describe you? How do your
Yes,
friends?
ma'am. That's what.
Yeah, what kind of a person you are, as per your friends?
Very funny person.
Yeah, guys, please keep
Ma'am,
quiet. This is a mock interview. We are interviewing Vaibhav Sagar today. So your friends will say that Vaibhav Sagar, yeah, he is an introvert, full, full and final.
some kind of introvert, but when I have to speak up, I use my voice. I You can say that I pretend to be a introvert so that I don't come in the spotlight of
All right. Your friends
anyone.
will tell you, your friends will describe you as a person who keeps a low profile, doesn't talk much, but when he has to talk, but he is assertive. When he needs to stand up and
Yes,
talk, he is assertive. So your friends
yes,
will
ma'am.
describe you as introvert and assertive. Okay, the next question.
Yes, ma'am.
How will your teachers describe you? How will Sanjana ma'am describe you? We have known you for 3 years. So how what do teachers feel about you? The HOD IT, Amit Shukla sir, Law sir.
Ma'am, in the eyes of teachers, I have been a very humble
Not saying
student
what you have.
who doesn't disturb.
If I'm going to ask
But
professor right now, okay, tell me something about Vaibhav Sagar. What will he say?
they won't speak ill of me. They will say that yes, he is a quiet student who just sits on the first or the second
Okay.
row, and most of the time I'm not so active. But whenever I am supposed to stand up and answer some kind of question, I try to face those questions. I don't feel
In other words,
uncomfortable in
other teachers will describe you as a disciplined student, right? A
yes, ma'am.
person
Yes, ma'am.
who is um, disciplined, who is disciplined, who keeps a low profile, but he answers when asked and doesn't create a ruckus. And he's a no nonsense boy. Like he would like the class to be quiet because he's a serious kind of a person and he loves to be serious in classes also. Though a little bit of fun here and
Ma'am.
there, that's okay. But then people come to study. So he's one kind of a person who will stand up and raise his voice when there is a ruckus in the class or when people are talking in your class. Then I think you're the first person who's always stood up and said, "Ma'am, this is the reason why I'm not coming to the class because there's so much of disturbance." Right. So if you ask me, Vaibhav Sagar, what will I say? Supposing you've given your resume and in reference you've written my
Ma'am.
name. So if they're calling me up, supposing the HR of the people of Wipro or TCS or any other company, if they call me for reference, Vaibhav Sagar, a student of um, Simaj College, Aryabhat Knowledge University, say something about him. What will Sanjana ma'am say?
Mhm. Ma'am, I am very transparent in your eyes, ma'am.
What will I say? Okay, Vaibhav Sagar is one person who is serious. He
Ma'am.
smiles on the right joke. He's a serious kind of a person, committed, focused, and down to earth. He does not try to grab the limelight. Yes, but when asked, he is on the spotlight. So when he is not speaking, you will not know whether the person is knowledgeable or dull or intelligent or smart. But when he starts speaking, he's got the capabilities to impress. So this is what Weber. This is the honest opinion about you because I have known
Means a lot.
in the very beginning, if you remember, when you entered your first semester, first class business English, this is what I told the
Yes,
class.
ma'am.
To me, every student is a case study. Do you remember? Do you remember this? To me,
Yes, ma'am.
even if there are 60 students, each one of you is a case study for me. A teacher doesn't only teach, reads and decides how am I going to take this student further. So this is what I can say about you. Like yes, you're serious, you're committed. But one thing, one negative aspect is about you is that you do not take life as it comes. Life is not to be so serious about. Okay, it happens. If people are talking, let them talk. It's a class. They are youngsters. They are very young. They might be, they might be suffering from some kind of complex or something. So life is not to be serious 24 by 7. Give them space. I told you so many times, forget about it. If they are like this, let them be. Don't change the world. Don't even try to change people, the guy sitting next to you. You can never do that. Adjust, adapt, right? So this is what life is all about. And if you work in a company, you'll be facing a lot of cross-cultural communication, cross-cultural environment. So you need to accept. Acceptability is one thing, which can work wonders for you. So one thing I would like to advise you: let things be as they are. You cannot change them. We are not able to change them. We have tried. Be serious. Be focused. The amount of activities in my class, I think almost every other day there were presentations. It was a complete presentation day, serious class also, like verbal abilities, then presentations and selecting GDs. It all happened in the class. So yeah, life
Mhm.
is not to be taken so seriously, right? The next question
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
if like, what is your the very important question is, what are your short-term goals? Like, how are you planning? Like, you were very upset about I wasn't even selected and I wasn't even well. So, what is the short-term goal? You said you have applied already.
Yes, ma'am, I have applied already, and my short-term goal right now is to learn more and more about uh, the interview handling skills and how to prepare myself so that I can face the real world. So that if anyone comes up with me any kind of question, that I don't hesitate and I try to face their answers.
Okay,
That's my current short-term goal, to be more confident and try to speak up and use my voice for so that
all right. And one more
I
question.
could impact.
Yeah, when when you're not working, when you're not when you're not studying, when you're not working, what do you
Mummy
enjoy?
camera, ma'am.
Yes. So here we are talking about when you're not working, when you're not studying. What do you like doing for a pastime?
When I'm not studying and when I'm not more, into my books, I do other activities such as work on my hobby or work on my interest, so that apart from bookish knowledge and apart from learning, I acquire more and more skills which will help me in my life
Okay.
to
What
keep
is your
myself organized.
and what is your hobby? Yeah, let us talk about your areas of interest. Like, what interests you and what are you passionate about?
Ma'am, my interest, ma'am, talking about my interest, ma'am, these days I have picked up tasks such as cooking and cleaning, which I don't usually do. But due to the pandemic situation, I have seen in my house that mm, how my parents are uh, working day and night, and they struggle a lot. So I try to lend my hand into their work so that they don't feel stressed at the end of the day.
That is
And that's why I have
yeah.
picked up tasks like cooking and cleaning.
So a lot of things which the COVID, the lockdown has taught you. And what is your hobby? Like, hobby is something where you're very serious about. So what is it?
Mhm.
Do you have time for hobby? Like, being a student of BCA, people are hardly have time to pursue their hobbies. But then, hobby is something which is a must. Like, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you need a breather. You need to get out of this system and then come back again. So that when you come back again, you're rejuvenated and then you feel energized. So what is one thing which holds your interest? Your hobby, sorry, rather.
One thing that supports my interest is that, ma'am, about hobbies, I know that one person needs to have at least 4 or 5 kinds of hobbies, which will impact the different areas of their lives.
So what are
That, ma'am,
what is the importance of hobbies? Why is it important? Is it if it is important?
Ma'am, hobbies and interests are important because it keeps a man away from, or it keeps a person distracted from the uh, problems of the world, and gives a
Empty mind is
growing environment.
So you have to fill your mind with something productive to do. For example, if you're
Yes, a
sport,
hobby or an interest provides a growing environment for a person's mind where he can explore other parts of his life in
exactly.
which he can find at what work he is very good at or what work he is lacking behind.
That is why we get a Sunday because we work Monday to Saturday, and on Sundays we take rest, and Mondays back to work with renewed energy. So that is why
Hmm.
breaking off or taking a breather is important. For example, if you have back-to-back
Yes.
classes, you take off for 5 minutes, 10 minutes with for a power nap or whatever. But taking off for some time is good. So taking off means here is where hobbies come. Here is where interests come. So you put all yourself together. You sit back, relax. You listen to your favorite music, or whatever things make you happy. So an interest is
Yes.
all about your happiness. Whatever things things that are there to give a smile on your face. So that is an interesting hobby. And the last question today for you, Weber, is what is your greatest fear? What are you apprehensive about?
Ma'am, my greatest fear right now is losing those people who have understanding and respect for me. Because, ma'am, losing a bond is very hurtful, and creating new ones is very challenging. So my greatest fear right now is that whatever people I have in my good, or those people who have me in their good books, they try to understand me, or I build up those kind of understanding, mutual understanding, so that we don't lag behind and those bonds don't break.
Okay. These all these questions you need to answer. There will be loads of questions which people can ask from anywhere, any place. Technical questions are still there, like say something about discuss your hometown, or can you please tell me something about your family?
Pardon, ma'am, come again.
How would you introduce your family?
Ma'am, I didn't get your question, ma'am.
How would you introduce your family?
My family, how will I introduce my family to others? My family is a nuclear family consisting of 5 members, and each one of them are like pillars. Um, we all work in harmony, and we all understand each other very well, and we know our drawbacks and positivities, pros and cons, each one of us. But but as the two pillars means me and my sister are youngsters, uh, we sometimes create nuisance which troubles the elderly. So we are learning, ma'am, and the elderlies are very understanding. My parents, my mother and my father are very understanding. They give us very nice environment so that we, apart from our studies, we try to gain new skills or learn new things. They were the only ones who persuaded me to learn new languages and learn new cultures.
Okay.
They
What
never
other
held
languages
me
can you
back.
speak? Vaibhav, what other language can you speak?
Ma'am, the other languages which I can speak is Bhojpuri, and ma'am, can speak a little of Spanish and Italian, and I can understand a little bit of Japanese because I most of the time I watch Japanese anime,
So, what has
and ma'am,
inspired you to learn Japanese and what did you say? Spanish.
but
Yeah, why?
ma'am,
How did it inspire you?
ma'am, when I graduated my 10th standard now, ma'am, I took 1 year gap, and in that period of time, I tried to explore myself that in what kind of field am I more enthusiastic into. So I already have a very small group of friends. So I came up with the idea that I should make friends who are out of this country, and I should try to understand their culture and their thought processes, that how their families um, and how their families culture affect them, so that I can have an idea of outside the box that yes, I am living in India and I am living in this society, but what does their society people think and what kind of cultures they follow. So that gave me a kick in standard 10th or 11th. So at that time, I tried to explore different kind of personalities and different kinds of celebrities uh, who impacted in their respective fields, and I uh, got to learn more and more about different kinds of culture, different kinds of religions, and different kind of peoples in uh, in different parts of the globe.
Yeah, that is really good because hardly, I think, very few people. It is rare to uh, uh, see people in an interview talking like this, like they are into other learning other languages, like Japanese, and just to know their culture and environment. This is going to really help you in your cross cultural communication. And when you work in a multinational company, you'll be comfortable with working in people with um, other religion, other culture. So Japanese, Chinese, Bhojpuri, English, Hindi. So you will call yourself that, yeah, I'm a polyglot. Like I can speak a lot of languages. Yeah, this is good, and this will give you the edge in your. Um, this is an added qualification. Like if you pursue this, if you can get into this spoken Japanese language or Spanish language, like nothing like it. How do you say thank you in Spanish?
In Spanish, if I have to say thank you, gracias.
Thank you very much. Muchos gracias.
Muchos gracias,
Thank you very much, and nice interview. And with this kind of speaking, like interview, do not be afraid about interviews.
ma'am.
Always be happy to face an interview, because this is nothing but talking over the table. You're asking questions, answering questions which I already know. So these are the questions, a lot of things which I came to know about you, which I did not know. Though I've known you for the past 3 years, but this I did not know, that you did something very productive. When you took a year off, and you pursued your life, you tried to meet other people. So you are a people person. Like you like to connect, and you do not trust. Sometimes you do not trust your own people. So you try to make friends with people who do not know you, strangers. You feel talking to them very. Um, it gives you comfort. Like you are very comfortable talking to strangers, and then
Ma'am.
all the way you're always on the learning mode. This is something which is really going to take you to the heights, because if you are in a learning mode 24/7, learning is excites you. This is something which people, the companies, the HR, they're looking forward to people who are not stagnant, who are not stuck. Okay, this is the syllabus and this is it. Nothing out of the box. That's it. No,
Yes, ma'am. The bookish is very.
exactly. And it is a competitive world, Vaibhav. So the more you learn, and if you're in a learning mode, you will become the unstoppable. Nobody can stop you from learning. And this knowledge, nobody can take it from you. Forget the environment. If it's good, fine, adapt. If not, forget it. You've got a lot of things to think about. Right. So
Yes, ma'am.
as for now, I'm happy with your interview today, and definitely, it is like somebody, people in your class should take a lesson. Like I'm not saying they are not smart enough, they are not good enough. Everybody is good enough, but people are shy. People who may not want to speak about anything, which uh, anything, but like public speaking can be a fear factor for them. But they have got to avoid this. And this I'm going to make it very clear. Interview is just talking to people, speaking. They will be asking questions which you already know. There will be the technical rounds, which will be coming from your your core syllabus. Get that straight. And otherwise, they are just checking you for your communication skills, one thing, and your technical skills. If you are good at
Yes,
both,
ma'am.
nobody can stop you. And in another class, I will be choosing some other student to for an interview if they want to, because I do not want to pressurize, because when you cannot handle pressure. But since I know this class through and through, I know that some people that are there in the class who would always be willing to make a presentation, or who will be willing to answer questions. So in the coming classes, we'll discuss more on interview questions and how you will how you will handle them.
Ma'am.
Yeah, muchas gracias. Yeah,